I've been with my GF for just over 10 years. The background is relevant, I think, so here goes. We met through me working for the drama group she is part of when she was in charge of publicity. We got on really well, some slight flirtation here and there, so once the work was completed I asked her if she wanted to stay in touch, and she agreed. It very quickly ramped up to full-on flirtation, highly dollar-actualized messages, and so forth, but we lived quite some distance away, and we hadn't met in person at this point. Within 2 weeks things were pretty full-on, hours and hours on the phone, general talking, but lots of dollar-actualized conversations too. Here's the kicker. Around 3 weeks in, she casually mentioned that she was married. I freaked out. I never pursue people in relationships, especially not married women, but she was very relaxed about it, said she told her husband everything, he knew we were friends, etc. She said he was a really nice guy and praised him up. Within 2 weeks, though, she was saying he was an arsehole, didn't like her doing the drama stuff and always being out. He never wanted to do anything, etc., etc. Net result, they split up within 2 weeks. We didn't actually meet in person until 6 weeks after their separation. We've had odd ups and downs, got over them, and just got on with life. She continued to do the drama thing, no problem. There was a pause of around 2 years when a close relative of hers became very ill, and we became primary carers, but after the person passed away, she went back to the group. Honestly, I have no issue with it, it's her thing. I am used to her doing rehearsals twice a week, and once a weekend in the 6-week run-up to the show. I am also used to the times and when she normally gets in. Occasionally she might join them at the pub afterwards, but only rarely. They have just finished the last show and her behavior has been completely off. This time she was the lead character. She has been in other shows, so nothing new, but from the get-go with this one, she started going to the pub after every single rehearsal saying she wanted to get to know the cast. Okay, I get that, but she was getting home progressively later and later. Bear in mind last orders are at 11 p.m. You usually get a bit of drinking up time, but she started getting home 12:30 onwards. One night it was after 1:30 a.m. So I challenged her on it, saying the times were very out of the norm and didn't tie in with pub hours. All I asked was for the small courtesy of letting me know she would be later than usual. Never happened, and she turned it around on me, saying it was my issue. As rehearsals went on, she got friendly with a guy playing her romantic interest. Let's call him Pete. Pete is an openly gay man, but her relationship with him became obsessive. Every other word out of her mouth was Pete. I also know Pete, and frankly I have a bad impression of him from when we worked together on publicity. He would regularly talk shit about the other members of the group's committee, call them stupid, incapable of thinking. He was going to take control and make everyone listen to him. I just don't like him. My girlfriend didn't like him either, and said that he had changed. Maybe he has, but there is no evidence of it from comments other people have made about him lately. He then started sending my girlfriend really mushy messages. I miss you so much when we're not together. The group is so wonderful now, and that's because of you. She read those to me. Anyway, the point is she wouldn't stop talking about him, and in the end I told her that I really don't have a good opinion of him and didn't want to talk about him. Apparently, that made me an arsehole. On a few of their social outings, she told me that when he's drunk, Pete made out with girls, and she then said when she wore the low-cut dress for a scene in the show, he was just staring at her chest. So okay, I am wary of this guy. This weekend, I went to see the show, as I always do. Literally every other one I have seen, I wait for her afterwards in the foyers. We hug, kiss, and I tell her how amazing it was and chat a bit. This time 2 other friends came. We were waiting at a table in the foyer. She made a beeline for one friend, didn't even acknowledge me, and spoke to her for 15 minutes, then she spoke to the other friend for 10 minutes, then someone else for 5 minutes. Finally, she came up to me, and I know I didn't look happy, and she snapped at me asking what was up with me, and I said it didn't feel very nice when she ignored me. Not even a hello. The next thing out of her mouth was, "What did you think of Pete and I's kissing scene?" And I told her truthfully, as her partner, it's not something I enjoyed watching. But we moved on, talked a bit, and she was friendlier. On Sunday, she ripped into me saying I have been totally disinterested throughout. Untrue, I asked her about rehearsals every time and how it was coming together. I helped her make show presents for the other cast members. Ultimately, though she made me the bottom priority in her life throughout this whole time, I was the one looking after the animals, sorting out the house, appointments, getting shopping, running her errands, etc. And frankly, when she was home, she was either glued to her phone messaging, asleep because of her late nights, or going upstairs to practice songs for 3 to 4 hours at a time. So now that show has finished. Last night, she was again glued to her phone, stopped to do some work for half an hour, but was literally checking for messages every 2 minutes, and afterwards messaging well after midnight. This is the woman who moans if I happen to get a message after 9 p.m., who has accused me of speaking to someone else when I have been looking at prospective work leads, the same person who shouted and hollered at me for taking half an hour longer than she thought was reasonable one time that I had to queue at the barbershop and accused me of meeting a woman. As far as I am concerned, she has put everyone and everything ahead of me, and now it's time to start the new show, so here we go again. Honestly, all I asked for was a little courtesy. Ida?